Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Life Actually with L.A. Mumar. Today, we have a very special guest, my friend, my office mate. She's actually used to play for the Lady Eagles, the captain of that team, helped resurrect that program. She also coached that team and brought them to the finals. She's also a lawyer, handles her family businesses, and she's also the youngest member of the UAAP board. At ang pinaka-importante nito, siya ang nagdadala ng mga langgam sa office namin na seatmate ko. Let's all welcome my friend, Miss Erika Dy!
Hello, hello. Quick note lang, kaya dumadating yung langgam. Ibig sabihin ni LA, sweet kasi ako.
Yun! Pero totoo yan, ha? May langgam talaga. We're actually beside each other in the office. Erika, it was my partner's idea, okay, to guest you. Siya nagsabi, why don't we're talking about women empowerment. Sabi niya, you've talked about your friend, your office mate. Why don't we guest her? And here you are. Thank you for having us. How are things now? Of course, I know these things, but for our audience, how's it been with the quarantine at ano mga pinagagawa mo?
Well, ako personally, I try to make my day productive, no? Siyempre, kahit naka-quarantine tayo, marami naman paraan para to continue learning. And I think this is really a time for everybody to learn. Nagulat lahat sa pandemic, di ba? It's a situation that we've never found ourselves in before. Pwera na lang buhay ka nung 1920s. Pero basically, bago siya sa atin lahat. So everybody has to, quote-unquote, pivot. Learn how to pivot. Sa basketball, alam mo yung LA. When you lose your dribble, you can continue to create and do things toward your goal if you can pivot properly, di ba? So I think it's the same thing here right now in life. Na-halt tayo, nahinto tayo, na-handicap tayo ng pandemic, but if we know how to pivot, we can keep moving forward despite all this.
Consider that illustration stolen. That's an amazing illustration for my team building talks. Definitely, consider it. Nagagamitin ko na yan sa mga talks ko, okay? But there are some particular reasons why we guest certain people, and right now amazing because this show that we started, this channel, na notice namin na ang daming mga ladies na nanonood, and one particular thing that reason that we really wanted to guest you was how you have really been successful and have done medyo things that are not common, no? Or kumbaga you're trailblazing in this world. You're being a woman. You've been an example to so many people. And siguro I want to start with this now. Basketball. You started basketball, especially during the marami naman nagba-basketball but not as much as maybe volleyball or football. How did you end up playing basketball and being a star player of Zobel and then straight to Ateneo? Paano nag-umpisa yung journey na yun?
Medyo nakakatawa yan, no? Kasi most of my teammates at least, pag tinanong mo sila, paano sila napunta sa basketball? Puro brothers, di ba? They have like 2 brothers, and syempre nahihila sila. With our family, it's a little bit different. Sa mommy ko, second family kami, 1 boy, 3 girls. Okay. Pero lahat kami 3 girls nagba-basketball. So medyo funny siya. Tapos between my mom and my dad, it wasn't my dad who was pushing us. Yung mommy ko yung mahilig mag-basketball. So medyo nag-fall into place for me. It was sort of a natural path. Hindi siya yung tipong out of nowhere nag-basketball na lang ako bigla. Nasa family din kasi kahit papano. My grandfather kasi in particular, yung daddy ng mommy ko was basketball player coach. Nag-coach siya sa Mikaa. So I think that's where it came from.
Pero hindi mo ba naisip, siguro we have some parents here who are listening, hopefully we have some teenagers listening also, yung ba naisip na yung stereotype, no? And yun yung gustong-gusto ko sa'yo, you battle stereotype, you don't care, no? Na mag-football ka na lang, or I'm of course older than you. Yun yung yung mga ladies na kabatch ko, generally football, volleyball, paano mo binattle yun? Or inisip mo ba yun o wala kang pakialam?
Actually, mas doon ako sa wala akong pakialam. Maganda sana yung storya na inisip ko na it was something deep, pero sa totoo lang, nakafocus lang talaga ako sa basketball eh. It was nothing really exciting thought-wise, no? Parang yun yung nahilig ko. And I guess aside from passion, kahit papano may konti akong skill. Ayaw naman natin pilitin sarili natin mag-volleyball kung ayaw ng volleyball sa atin, di ba? Mahirap naman yun. So, parang, I was just lucky enough, I guess, na yung gusto kong gawin, dun din ako kahit papano may talent. So,
Did you try, I don't know this. Did you try volleyball or football?
I tried sa intrams, pero ako yung tipong, dati kasi pwede, yung, anong tawag doon? Yung no point against serving team. Diba? So, okay pa ako, basta kami nagsiserve. Kasi kahit magkamali ako, hindi pupunto sa kabila. Pero pag yung kabila na nagsiserve, pinapaupo na ako ng classmates ko.
Okay, buti na lang nag-basketball ka kasi at least mas star player ka doon. But sige, let's kind of move on. There's so many girls with so much ambition. We just recently saw the U.S. elect their first female vice president. Any thoughts about that?
Well, I'm happy, na we are in this stage where women are much more recognized and kahit papano look as equals already sa lalaki. We're still not where we want to be, of course, but compared to the earlier days when totally na-overlook ang women, ngayon, when you hire someone, for example, when you're hiring, there are certain laws that demand that you also interview women, diba? As a courtesy. I don't know if those laws are present here in the Philippines. Baka wala pa. Pero in more progressive states such as the US, it's a big deal. Like if malaman nila dun sa open position na yon, wala kang in-interview na applicant na babae, pwede kang mademanda, diba? So, pakonti-konti, lumalapit na tayo dun sa stage na yon na napapantay. Ganyan naman yan, di ba? Una, hindi napapansin, and then you place rules to raise the level a bit to where you want it. Hanggang sa finally, even without the rules, you're there where you want to be. So,
para alam nyo lang, kaya nabanggit ni Eric yan, because he's also a lawyer, pero you took your the bar in the States, right? Not here.
License in the Philippines. That's correct.
Sabi ko sa'yo, my office mate is crazy, smart, and doing everything. But, one of the things that I noticed with you, and maybe you can kind of talk into this, I am actually part of some of the meetings that we have in Ateneo, and most of the time, unfortunately, but most of the time, you're the only female there. Most of the time, no? And hopefully we can get more in the future and they get inspired by our podcast. But how does that feel? Did you ever get intimidated, especially if you are, puro lalaki or older than us, ganyan, or how does that work for you?
Well, again, hindi ko alam kung aloof lang ako o wala lang talagang pakialam or snob lang talaga. Pero pag nandun na ako sa meeting, I don't really put much thought into it that, ba't ganito? Ba't ako lang yung babae? Lalo na when it's the basketball coaches, di ba? Parang basketball coaches are normally dominant men, di ba? Parang dominated siya by men, tapos dominant pa yung mga men who take these leadership positions.
Wag mo na sabihin si Coach Tab Baldwin, wag mo na sabihin si di ba?
Pero kay Coach L.A. Mumar, di ba? Ang lakas ng dating. Pero I guess you know what I mean, di ba? Very intimidating ang basketball coach to begin with, di ba? So, parang imagine yourself in a room with all these powerful leaders na puro lalaki, tapos ikaw lang babae. Thankfully, when I'm there, like I said, hindi ko na siya napapansin. Maybe because I'm focused on the topic. Pero you're right, once I step out and I look back, doon ko nare-realize na bakit ako lang yung babae doon. Diba?
Yeah, and that's something that hopefully we can work on, maybe start sa Ateneo and other universities. And it's not just basketball, no? You're also one of our athletic directors for administration. And we also deal with Jesuits. All of them are male as well, di ba?
There's ano naman, a rule to that kung bakit all of them are male, di ba? Pari naman yun. So,
so, pero generally, you work with guys.
Because they don't, that's not because women are not qualified or something. You know,
Pero
I know what
is you're always meeting with men. I mean, that's my point. Na parang palagi, you're surrounded with these, generally, no? Lalo na pag Jesuit, matatalino, marurunong. Yes. And it's amazing how you are, you don't care.
Yeah, it's the same with the UAAP. Parang dalawa lang.
Ilan ba kayong babae doon sa board?
Right now out of 16 sa
Ilan?
BSP. There's 2 of us. Dalawa.
Si Ma'am Jean.
Yes, Ma'am G of UST.
Ma'am G of UST.
So out of
and you're the youngest. You're the
yes.
youngest.
So,
how does that feel?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you asked me also what's it like to be in a room full of men. I think
ito older men pa to na talagang mga athletic director, priests, di ba?
Correct, oo. I take extra precaution and I try to carry myself the best way I could because I know I'm just not representing myself but representing all the other females out there, di ba? Parang kumbaga yung mindset ko going to these meetings, if mapakita ko na very capable ang babae, then hopefully they give more opportunities to other women out there.
Do you feel, because other people, they say that you have to work extra hard or doubly harder. I don't know I don't know kung tama ba yung grammar na yun, pero basta alam mo yung point ko na
yeah.
Kasi to prove yourself na as a female, especially now here you're in the sports industry, sports sector, diba? Do you ever feel that, or for somebody who's upcoming and somebody asks you, Coach Erika, Miss Erika, ano yung journey mo? Mas mahirap ba talaga maging babae dito sa industriya na to?
I think what you're pointing out is if I feel the discrimination. Kasi pag may discrimination, syempre parang kumbaga applicant A, applicant B. Kung may discrimination against B, para ikaw yung mapili, dapat nandito ka. Dapat malaki yung angat mo dun sa applicant A. Otherwise, kung pantay lang, si A yung pipiliin.
Yeah.
And yes, that's very true. I'm not going to deny that. I feel that sometimes I'm more qualified. Not to hindi sa pagmamayabang or anything.
Yeah.
But I think the important part about it is huwag sasama yung loob mo. Parang it's something that I've already accepted before. As even in my younger years, no. If there's something naman na alam natin about this world, it's that it's not fair, diba? And that unfairness comes in different aspects depending on you. For me, it may be nga because I'm a female. Most of the challenges in front of me end up being unfair because of me being a female. Ba? It may be something else for you, but I'm sure there's also some challenges for you. So that's how I take it. Now, it's just different for everybody else. They have to overcome different obstacles. So hindi ko minamasama yun na ang society natin ngayon medyo mas mababa ang tingin sa babae kaysa sa lalaki.
I appreciate that comment. I'm actually hearing you. Medyo nakakatuwa din dahil we work in an institution. Of course, we're both from Ateneo, so this will be a little bit biased. But hopefully, it will inspire other institutions, not lang educational, na you were selected. For some of you who don't know, she was selected as the coach because everybody thought that she was more capable than the others in terms of leadership. So, and then also you're an athletic director here, and obviously an integral part of our program. Just because you're capable, hopefully, kumalat siya in different schools and sa mga hindi
And
lang sa
I'm also very lucky with regards to the people around me. I think that's very important for anybody's success na parang they were able to see through my womanhood, di ba?
Yeah.
And see who I really am behind that. That's important.
Hopefully talaga we can get a little bit more progressive as a society, after saying this. So let's move forward, Erika. It's great. We know you're successful. You run a business. You're a lawyer. You're an athletic director. You're a coach. You're a player. But let's look forward to trying to pave the way. I mentioned earlier that I feel that you're a trailblazer, and I see it in little ways that you're trying to mentor some of these ladies. That doesn't have to be in the sports industry, but to make a difference sa society natin. Looking for what are you trying to give back, and trying to inspire some of these young women to make a difference, and really don't care if they, regardless what society tells them.
Ako, moving forward, with regards to women and this whole movement, to be honest, I wouldn't consider myself as an advocate. May mga nakikita ko sa social media na talagang they're really advocating for women's rights, equality, etc., etc. You follow me on my social media accounts, and I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not very vocal about this topic. That point being, not because I don't care about it, I very much do, but I always believe more in the power of action, the power of example. So like yung minention ko kanina, when I go into a room full of men, I try to carry myself the best way possible. That for me is my way of paving the way for the women who will follow. No, it's by making an example of my life that women can achieve things, that they are very much capable. I think that's the best way that I can help out this movement. So that's what I'm focused on. That's why I continue to try and equip myself to meet all the challenges that are out there that traditionally are always met by men only.
Yeah, that's great. Yung nabanggit mo nga, medyo traditional tayo, and ngayon mas nagiging open. Is there a particular, okay, kung hindi ka masyado advocate, just by being example, that's great. Pero meron ka bang particular, kumbaga, prayer or hope or wish na mangyari as we continuously progress, whether that's in sports, in our society? What do you want to see in the near future?
My vision really for the sports world, at least sports here in the Philippines, very patriotic. There's nothing I care more about here on earth, at least, than seeing the Philippines rise up and being equal to the world powers, diba? So yung progress sa country in the field of sports, very broad dream, but my vision is really, to take away that politics from sports. Kasi I feel na yan talaga yung nagka-clamp down sa success ng athletes natin. And yun yung gusto kong maalis. Kumbaga, kung dito na talaga yung career ko sa sports, if this is my path, I want my legacy to be the one who was able to take away that politicking from the sporting world in the Philippines. Yan ang vision ko.
Yeah, and
I don't know
maybe
how to do it yet, how to get there, hindi ko pa alam. I pray about it every day, but that's what I want to do.
Eto baka nagtataka kayo, nakita nyo syempre yung apelido nito. If you see it right there, Dian, okay? So ibig sabihin, she's also, if you're familiar with politics, she's from a political family. And siguro dyan nag-merge yung mo, no? You still love the country, pero medyo might be, at least for this season, in the sports world, I really think that in the future, I'm gonna visit you and you become mayor or governor or whatever that is.
Onward.
That's still my bet. That's still my bet. Tumawa lang. Hindi nag-react. So medyo open na.
Hindi. Sa akin lang naman parang di ba? I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, I really like God to be able to lead my life. My younger years, siguro, nandyan yan, may pangarap akong ganito, pangarap akong ganyan, nakalatag yan lahat. But I've realized right now, it's really where God leads us. So,
nauna ka na naman sa akin, palagi kang one step ahead. I was about to ask you 2 questions. One, what do you think about the league? And number 2, are you making a comeback? Because I know some of your, di ba, maglalaro ka ba kahit one conference? Pinag-uusapan namin ni Coach Bacol.
Okay, so unahin ko yung number 2, madali lang yun eh. Na-tempt ako magpa-draft.
Bakit magpa-draft ka? Kondisyon na kondisyon ka kaya?
Hindi. Lalo na when I was looking at the names of the draftees, may mga kabatch ako. So, I was a bit surprised.
Know.
That was exciting. Pero, hindi na kasi nag-coach na ako eh. And mahirap naman yung mga players ko nandun sa draft. Aagawan ko pa na posisyon.
si Coach Ahon yata. Nagpa-draft ba siya?
Oo. So,
okay. So, wala.
So, yeah. wala.
One conference. No. One conference.
No, wala na.
Okay. Oh, what about the league?
So, the league, I think there are good and bad points to it. It's good that people have come together to come up with this. It's good that the government has recognized the women's game in the fact that they gave them a professional license. And it's also good to see that so many players are not only willing, but talagang they put their names out there in the draftees, no? And these are not people who just have nothing better to do. I know the players in this industry, diba? Having been a coach and having played so many years, may mga doktor doon ako nakita, as in licensed doctors who actually place their names in the draft list. Diba?
Wow.
So okay siya in that sense na naha-highlight yung women's basketball, especially after a very successful WNBA season this year, no? And so that's the good side. Yung part lang that I would criticize, if I may, no, is that I would have hoped to see a successful commercial semi-professional league first. For seeing a professional league. Why? I'm a believer in no shortcuts. So I like taking things step by step. And from having no commercial league, jumping to a professional league bigla, medyo malaki siya. And that means the risk of failure is very high, which we do not see. So yun lang yung medyo critical ako at this point.
Yeah. Well, point well taken. Saka masakit dyan tayo yung women's. Of course, you guys, if you follow the podcast, I coach the women's team following Erika's footsteps, and she's very active in helping me as well. Hindi rin tayo makasali sa liga na yon dahil professional na sila. So medyo sayang.
About this, di ba? Parang ang ganda sana if meron tayong Ateneo whatever, di ba? Our big sponsor is Uratex in Ateneo Uratex, di ba? Playing in that
sayang
league, but that eliminates the possibility.
All right. Last 2 questions as we end. Number 1 is with etong pagka-Kristiyano mo na banggit mo earlier. How does that come to play when you face challenges as I'm sure you face a lot of challenges, but in particular being a woman, and I hope that there are girls and women watching, or parents of women watching, or parents of little girls watching. How did it catapult you to where you are now? I would love to think, I know you, you're a woman of character, you're a good friend of me and Macy's. How did it help you overcome some of these challenges?
Well, in terms of challenges, no, I meron akong two favorite verses na I think really guides me. Yung first, they're both from Matthew. Yung una is Matthew 6:33. Madaling tandaan sa akin kasi 6 number ni Eddie Jones, favorite ko 'yan.
Wow.
33, Scottie Pippen. Si Scottie Pippen medyo parang mini Scottie Pippen si Eddie Jones sabi nila, diba? So parang younger years ko pa lang, high school pa lang ako nagsistick na sa akin to. Yan yung seek first the kingdom of God, diba?
Yeah.
So when things become difficult, I always bring myself back to that verse, no? Parang bakit ba ako nandito? Ano ba yung purpose ko? Ano ba yung hinahabol ko? And that makes things easier talaga. Whatever challenges are facing you, if you remember that verse na as long as you're chasing God, you'll be fine wherever you end up. So that's really powerful. And yung second ko is more of yung me trying to pave the way, which is Matthew 5:16, put on the armor of God, di ba? Parang be a beacon of light so that God may be glorified. Be an example, in other words. And I talked about the importance of that earlier. So
and truly you are being an example. A lot of our Lady Eagles, and not lang Lady Eagles, but the people around you, you've really made an impact. And hopefully we can see more Erika Dys in Ateneo, in UST, and all of these other schools, and not lang sa schools, but others. I know you're very busy, and thank you for your time. Last question, as we conclude today, if there was, I always ask this, if there was this little girl who would ask you and come up to you and say, Tita Erika or Ate Erika, how can I, or what are your secrets? How can I be successful? Or how can I make it unfortunately, in a man's world right now, at least in the Philippines traditionally, how can I make a difference, or how can I make an impact? What will you tell that 8-year-old girl?
I would always ask her first to, look for her why. I think it always will start from there. It might be hard to understand for an 8-year-old girl, pero I guess yung question for them is, ano bang gusto mong gawin? Diba? Even before I can ask that, who do you want to be? What do you want to be? And the next question is always why, which I think is the more important question. And that goes back again. Sorry, pabalik-balik ako to Matthew 6:33, no? Para for me, it's seeking God. That's how it's been the past couple of years, and that's really what pushed me to be where I am today. And whatever it is for this young girl, will do the same for her, diba? And hopefully it's as powerful as my why. I know my why is very powerful, and as long as it's enough for her, she can go wherever she wants to go.
Yay! Wow, thank you so much for that word of wisdom. Miss, mag-hi ka na, magbababay na tayo. Yay! Okay. So, may last pa-games kami dito as we end. Okay, pag magsasabi ako ng word, magsasabi ka lang what is the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you okay with this?
Sure.
Alright, number 1, basketball.
Bola.
Bola, literal bola. When I say Ateneo.
Eagle.
Okay. Pag sinabi na, high school or college crush?
Nako, pangalan yan.
Hindi, kahit celebrity. Wag naman batchmate. Mahirap pag batchmate eh. Celebrity.
Jay Hernandez.
Nabanggit mo na to, pero tatanungin ko ulit. Favorite player, NBA player growing up?
Eddie Jones.
Bakit nga Eddie Jones, sorry?
Mahilig ako sa role player eh. So, parang hindi siya superstar, pero I feel na good enough to be a star. Pero just does what he does on the side.
Eto, the D political family.
Mababait.
Okay, mababait. Okay. Ikaw ba pinakamabait o ikaw dyan?
Sutil? Hindi naman. Pantay-pantay lang.
Okay.
Get
Etong si Harris ng Vice President ng Amerika.
the future.
The future. All right. So that's it. Thank you so much, Miss Erika D, my office mate. Okay. So, syempre kailangan, parang hindi kami masyadong makakilala kasi kailangan kong magtanong, no? Pero, thank you for guesting.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. Ito na ata yung pinakamatagal na nagkwentuhan tayo ulit dahil sa pandemic
Oo nga talagang challenging. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, Erika.
You are welcome again anytime. Let me know.
Yes.
Next time manonood tayo ng Korean novela kasama ni
Oo
Macy.
nga, with Macy. All right. So to all our viewers, I'm sure you guys learned a lot from Miss Erika D. Don't forget, we're now on Spotify. Also, check out our FB page and our YouTube channel. And I hope that you have a blessed week ahead of you. God bless you all.